there is, I think, an interesting approach. You don't know that it's going to be a winner and it feels uncomfortable, and most traders will never do it. I actually did a whole webinar on this.
Welcome to the Think Profit Podcast. All information in this podcast is for educational purposes only and is not financial or health advice.
Hey Hugh, so I have a question here from a trader, and she's got this issue. She says, I would really like to have bigger positions on my winning trades. So what are your thoughts on having bigger positions on winning trades?
Well, first of all, that's impossible. That's total like hindsight bias, right? It's
Yeah.
basically fear of missing out. So, um, the key is to build your account slowly, not slowly, but consistently, right? And if you're always like ruminating on, oh, I should have traded bigger, should have traded bigger, then you're going to take bigger trades in the future, and it's going to be outside of your risk profile, and you're going to have bigger losers also. So, I think you just got to be resigned to the fact that you have to trade within your strategy and not try to think about, oh, I should have traded bigger, because that ultimately leads to bigger losses. What do you think?
Yeah, so you're right. I mean, everyone wants their winners to be the ones that they had the largest position on. There are people that will they'll use like probabilities, like this trade has a probability of being more, likely to succeed or whatever than not, and I find that to be tricky. Like going down that path is really, I think, a
That's
bad
never worked for me
idea.
either. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. I go by I can't remember who said it in the Market Wizards, but it's binary. It's either one, yes, it's worth taking a trade, or zero, no, it's not.
Mm-hmm.
And so it's either
Mm-hmm.
full risk or no risk, right? And so that's what always made sense to me. But there is, I think, an interesting approach. You don't know that it's going to be a winner and it feels uncomfortable, and most traders will never do it. I actually did a whole webinar on this back in at the Black Friday for 2023. And here's the interesting thing. If you have a trade and it's going towards your target or where you expect it to go, if you add additional positions on the way there, and there are many ways to do this, right? There's a famous Japanese trader who does this. There's a guy in South Africa I know who does this. There's a lot of I do it. There are a lot of traders who will do this. And it's unnatural, right? Because most traders will take additional positions when the market goes against them, right? So it's unnatural to take more positions as the market's going in your favor. However, if you decide to do that, if you decide to add trades as the market gets closer and closer to your target, you can, in a way, cash out the most on your winners, right? Now, what's the risk? The risk is that you're wrong. So, for example, because you don't know it's going to be a winner. You just assume the market's getting there and it's showing strength and it's going really close to your target. So what I would do is if it gets halfway there, I might add a position, and then if it gets like 75% of the way there, I might add a position. And if it goes like 85 and 95% of the way there, I might add some more positions, right? Now, you have to know how you're going to pull the plug on these, and you have to have rules. You can automate it. There's lots of different approaches. But so this is a way. And there's a really famous Japanese trader who's made oodles and oodles of money by essentially doing this. And basically what ends up happening is he's running this so that when he's in a trade, he assumes it's a trend, and as it keeps going, he keeps going harder. And he occasionally gets these big jumps up in his equity curve. And there are many ways that you can approximate that equity curve where where you're running these things where you're gunning for it when you think you're onto a winner. However you define that, you start adding more positions. Again, totally unnatural. Most traders will never do it. It's not something that makes sense to a lot of people, because what makes sense to us and what's intuitive is not, you know, usually profitable. But this can work. But again, you don't know. So, like getting back to what you were saying, like you just don't know. You don't know when you're on to a winner until after the fact. That's hindsight bias. But what you're
Mm-hmm.
doing with this strategy is you're assuming that because the market's gone this far to your target, it's going to get there.
Mm-hmm.
And again,
Yeah.
the key to this is knowing when do you say, I was wrong, and pull the plug, and get out of all those positions. And how does that work? Is it a loss? Is it a major loss? Is it a break even? There are all different ways that you can do that. So yeah, so that's what I would say. I would say look into pyramiding. Look into
Mhm.
that approach. That would be something that you would want to look into to kind of approximate what she's talking about. That's all.
Yeah,
That's
yeah,
all I've
totally.
got. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, I used to do something like that in the past. It was first I determined what the 1R win rate was, and then
Hmm.
I knew that, it was very likely the percentage was high that it would hit the profit target. So I would stack trades towards the end of the target, and
Yeah.
then I would only use like a part of the total account, and then you either basically triple up your account or you lose most of it, right? But since that's only a small part of the total money, then it's not a big deal. And you have these big jumps, you withdraw, and then you do that. But yeah, that was just too stressful for me. But
Yeah.
it can work.
Yeah.
It can work.
Oh, it could definitely work. Yeah. Yeah. I think the best approach is to automate it so that,
Mm,
you end up with either nothing at break even. Well, you would have initial risk on the first position, but as long as you get past it to the second position, then you're at break even basically. And most of them are break even, and then some of them just have massive gains. So,
mhm,
you have like loss, 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 break even, break even, break even, break even, break even, big win. Loss, loss, break even, loss, break even, break even, break even, big win. Like it
mhm.
goes something like that. So your equity curve kind of goes like down, 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 flat, down, 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 down,
Yeah,
flat,
yeah.
down, down, down. It's a really weird way to trade, and a lot of people can't handle it. But yeah, it is possible. It is definitely possible. Yeah.